For example, look at the Coinbase app rankings. After spending months down around the 400s, it's broken into the top 150. Progress. Now, this might seem silly, but it's a powerful leading indicator. It means new, fresh money is getting curious. They're downloading the app. They're getting their accounts ready. And look at YouTube. Views for crypto content are starting to pump hard again. More people watching crypto content on YouTube means retail interest is waking up from its coma. This matters a lot because, like I said, institutions push Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other large caps, but retail creates the real face-melting altcoin pumps. They're the fuel for the low cap fire. We're not in that massive retail wave yet, but they are coming. And when Bitcoin dominance decisively breaks below 60% and enters the blue zone, they will come back like a tidal wave. So you need to be ready. Now, let's get to the meat of it. Let's break down exactly how I am playing this entire run zone by zone. But first, I have to remind you, and I am dead serious about this, this is my own personal game plan. This is what I am doing with my own money based on my own risk tolerance. This is not financial advice. You have to do your own research. You have to build your own plan. And honestly, you should seriously consider if crypto is even right for you. This is a high risk, brutal market. And if you lose your money, there is likely zero chance you will ever get it back. Okay, let's break down my strategy zone by zone. First, the grey zone, the graveyard, where we've been trapped for most of this year. We've talked about this already. This is where Bitcoin is the only game in town. Alts lag, chop and die a slow death. Memes get rubbed, hope evaporates. My strategy here is brutally simple. Survival. My portfolio is mostly Bitcoin and Ethereum. The rest is in high conviction, large caps, and a tiny, tiny handful of alts in narratives I believe have long-term strength like AI and gaming. In this zone, I am not looking for 10x plays. I'm not rotating much. I'm focusing on holding strength, preserving capital, and doing my research for the phases to come. Thankfully, it looks like we are leaving this zone finally. And we're heading straight for the blue zone. This starts right here at 60%. This is the loading zone. Ethereum starts to lead. Major altcoins, the top 20 to 30, begin to stir and show serious signs of life. My strategy here is to start methodically lowering my Bitcoin holdings in favor of other large cap altcoins. Let me be clear. I will never sell all of my Bitcoin, but I will begin to diversify some of those Bitcoin profits into more of the large caps I already hold and believe in. Even now, as we approach the 60% level, I am starting this process carefully, slowly, methodically. My goal here is to prepare for phase 2 and 3, where large cap alts historically start to outperform Bitcoin. What am I not doing? I am not jumping the gun and aping into low cap shitcoins. We are not in phase 4. We don't have the retail liquidity. And most importantly, we don't have confirmation yet. Remember, a lot of people will jump the gun here, but they did the same in March 2024, then in December 2024, and they paid the price, trapped in low cap shitcoins that will never pump again. Not us. We want confirmation, even if it means getting in slightly later. And that comes in the green zone. This is when Bitcoin dominance is between 55% and 50%. This is where the rotation becomes real. The party starts. This is where I begin transitioning from a large cap heavy portfolio to a low cap heavy portfolio. This is where I start actively playing narrative rotations more and more. Now, it's critical to understand that these are zones, not switches. The moment we hit 55%, I don't just dump all my large caps for low caps. No. That's how you get wrecked. It's all about flow. As we approach 55% and move through this zone, I'm already starting to transition. I'm scaling out of some large cap positions and scaling into the low cap narrative plays I researched back in the grey zone. By the time we get down to 50% Bitcoin dominance, my portfolio is fully transitioned from being low cap heavy, ready for the fireworks. And that's where we head into the orange zone when Bitcoin dominance is below 50%. Traditionally, this is where the blow off top happens. Bitcoin itself often puts in its cycle peak. Altcoins go absolutely mental. They continue pumping even after Bitcoin peaks because retail floods in thinking the rally will never end. For me, this zone has one name, the take profit zone. The moment we enter this zone, I start selling. The closer we get to the red zone, the more I sell until I am completely out. By the time Bitcoin dominance hits 45%, I'm done. Finished. Either in stables or more likely this time around in Bitcoin. Could I miss another 20% pump? Maybe. Do I care? Not one bit. I'm out. I've won the game. And that's how I'm playing the zones. And by the way, we can look at the last 2 runs to predict how long this takes, but don't put much stock into it. I wouldn't be surprised if this alt season is much slower and more methodical than last time. Be ready for anything, team. Speaking of being ready, remember that big scary mistake we talked about at the start? Assuming alt season has started too early is the single biggest, most destructive mistake people make. Let me show you a real world example. Look at this. Back in 2019 and 2020, many people, including me, I'll admit it, rotated into alts too early. Here and here. It looked like the start. The signals were there, but it was a massive mistake. Each time Bitcoin regained dominance and alts got crushed, many of them never recovered. They just died. And that's why I break the market down into these zones. I have structure, I have a plan, and I don't commit too much too soon. People tell me, but lady, that means you might get into moves a little later than is absolutely optimal. I don't care. If I have a choice between maybe making a 10x with a massive risk of losing it all or making a safer 8x with much, much lower risk, I'll take the 8x every single time. That's how the 3% club thinks. The other 97%, they want to squeeze every last possible percentage point out of every move, and they will end up losing it all in the process. Now, a quick word from our sponsor. If this bull run is truly going to be different, if it's going to be institutionally led, then things like identity, reputation, and on-chain credentials are going to matter more than ever before. This is where OGN comes in. They are building the critical cross-chain identity infrastructure for the future of crypto. Think about it. Self-custody of your wallet's reputation, a portable identity that works across different chains and protocols, integrations with everything from Web3 social and DeFi credit scoring to fairer airdrops. We're not talking about the OGN token here. It's critical to separate the token from the infrastructure. I do not endorse or personally hold the OGN token. But I believe the future of crypto isn't just about token speculation. It's about the underlying technology that will onboard the next billion users. And that is what Origin Protocol is building. If you want to dive deeper into the tech, the link is in the description below. Back to the video. We are not in alt season, but we are officially entering phase 2 of the classic path to alt season. Bitcoin dominance is dropping, Ethereum is leading, retail is stirring. This is the setup we've been waiting for. This is the moment to be sharp, focused, and disciplined. If you want the Bitcoin dominant zones indicator that I use, the link is in the description below. My mentor Nick built it, so all props go to him. He's a legend. He even says he's going to be updating it soon with new features. Grab it because it gives you the clearest structure we've ever had for navigating this market. The 3% club doesn't operate on hopium. They operate on structure, on signals, on phases. They have a plan. Now, you need one too.